Hey everybody, it's CR with Everyday Life in Arizona. Man, it is a beautiful day here today, and I hope you're having one as well. You know I love a good DIY project, and I've got a good one to share with you today. I hope it provides some inspiration as you get ready for spring fun time as well. If you're not super familiar with Southwestern architecture, I'm standing in my courtyard. It's in the front center of my home. Behind my shoulder there is the gate to the front of the house. And over here is the front door to my home. And then behind me is a covered sitting area that's adjacent to this open area above my head. And this is the project I want to share with you today. We were wanting to liven up the space a bit. That was a plain blank stucco wall. And this is an idea that we came up with to dress it up a bit. There's actually two projects here. Let me talk to you about the fountain one first. This is an old diesel fuel tank that my neighbor hooked me up with. He likes to do metal work, and he cut off that side of it and rolled the edges down so they were smooth. And then I provided the tubing and the two recirculating pumps to get it plumbed, as well as that spout up on the right. I also had this hooked up to an Alexa smart plug, which helps me control it remotely as well as schedule it to run certain times. Alexa, turn the fountain on. And just like that, let me get you in a little bit closer. You see the rocks inside and the metal art and the annuals that I planted out front. Those are some planter baskets I bought and hung them from the front edge. I may add some more larger plants underneath, though I kind of like the rustic look of the metal, but some more color on the bottom might look good too. I do run the pump several times a week to keep the water fresh. I also use some chlorine in it, just like in the pool, to keep the water from becoming stagnant or having algae. And when you're done, Alexa, turn the fountain off. Just like that. I'm sure you know this, but you can also set timers and days with the Alexa smart apps as well. All right, let's talk about the big wall behind it. You see the two green areas, I'll talk about that, and then the tile in the middle. If you think in your head, and I'll show you a picture, behind all of that is 2x4x12 pressure-treated wood framing. A bottom plate, a top plate, and then 6 vertical runs, 3 on each side of that tile. I've got them tied in to the wall with Tapcons. And I think you can see it with the sun. It's about noontime. I used 2 rafter ties to tie them in to some exposed rafters at the top, just in case it got a little top heavy and wanted to pull forward away from the wall, which it has not. It's really solid on that wall. I hung the green areas that you see. That is actually 2x2 boxwood leaves. You can buy them pretty much anywhere. And there's 12 panels on each side, so 2 wide and 6 high. They're stapled at the top and pretty much hanging with a couple more U-staples down the sides. I did not staple them all the way down. I wanted them to be free to move. Let me show you. In fact, I can also maybe show you a stud behind there as well on that side right there. But they're stapled on the top and at the bottom, and then a couple places on the side. Now the tile work in the middle. That is 8x35-inch ceramic floor tile. And I had not laid tile, though I wanted to try. I thought this would be a good time with an outside project. I couldn't screw things up too badly. So the trick there is that I learned is to go slow and take your time. Now that tile is mounted to cement backer board. If you're not familiar with what that is, that's the product that you use that you screw into the wood studs, and then you lay the tile on top of it. Let me try to show you this again. You can kind of see the edge of it right there. That's a cement backer board. I started at the bottom, got the first tile level, used spacers, checking each tile on the way up, and went right to the top. And fortunately for the space that I'm working with, I did not have to cut the tile, which I didn't want to do. I didn't want to cut it or drill it. So those are the full sizes. They worked out great as far as spacing for this project space. Now let me tell you about the light. That is a 36-inch LED light bar. It has 2 clips on it that it's mounted to. And I worked it out so the wire that supplies power to it in the back is fished through one of the joints, one of the grout joints. Again, I didn't want to cut the tile. I didn't want to drill into it to make it nice and easy. I figured it was going to be tough enough to just lay it, which it really wasn't that bad. That is the tile work. That is the light, and that is the greenery. Now, I do have the light on an Alexa timer also. It comes with a sensor. This light came with a sensor for dusk till dawn. But though I did want it to come on at dusk, I did not want it to stay on all night until the next morning. So I have that light as well as my overhead string lights tied into the same Alexa smart plug. And I have it scheduled to come on at sunset and off at 11 p.m. for both those lights. And that works well. It provides light in the evening, and then we go to bed and it's not on all night. Here's a picture I took after dark to show you what it looks like at night. That's my project. I hope it inspires you to have some fun around your home as well. We enjoy doing these DIY projects to liven things up and keep things fresh. If you have any questions or feedback, please drop them down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about this kind of stuff. And I really appreciate you hanging out with me for a few minutes all the way till the end. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.